It has been said that this belief of reincarnation from Christians actually came from Kabbalah. Kabbalah is an ancient Jewish form of mysticism whereby it existed 1,000 years before the birth of our Lord and Master Jesus. So they believe in reincarnation, and in Jewish, they call it Gilgulum. And early Christians, they call it apokatastasis, or the transmigration of the soul. But regardless if you believe in reincarnation or not, that is not the point. The point is how to attain heaven here on earth, right here, right now. Hello everyone, Namaste. My name is Father Joe, and I am a priest from the Catholic Universalist Church, and welcome to the Corporate Mystic. Now today, pag-uusapan natin, is it possible to fully experience heaven while we are still alive? But before that, intro. Noong unang panahon, way back the Tokugawa shogunate in Japan, there was this samurai, a Japanese warrior, who wanted to know what is the difference between heaven and hell. He was so eager to learn about it that he asked everyone in his town, what is it all about? Isang araw, tinanong niya yung isa sa mga subordinates niya. Sabi niya, do you know the secrets of heaven and hell? Do you know the difference between heaven and hell? Yun namang subordinate niya told him, Sir, I really don't know what is the difference between heaven or hell. However, may isang monk na nakatira sa isang malayong lupain, and it has been told that this monk is very wise, and he literally knows the answer to every possible question that any human being has. So, because of that, the samurai, this Japanese warrior, journeyed for several days, perhaps for a few weeks, just to go to the place where the monk lived. Tapos yung monk pa, nakatira siya sa isang mountain, his temple was on the mountain top. So, the samurai really made an effort to go there. Now, after a few weeks, nakarating na siya doon sa templo ng monk. And the monk is meditating outside his temple, facing the sunrise. He was meditating. And then, the samurai, the Japanese warrior, approached him and talked to him. He said, Sir, I've came from a faraway land, and I came here because people told me that you literally know the answer to every question that any human being has. So I came here to ask you this question that really bugged me for quite some time now. What are the secrets of heaven and hell? What is the difference between heaven and hell? Now, the monk, from his meditative state, opened his eyes, looked at the samurai from head to foot, from foot to head, and he told the samurai, you go back home because you smell very bad. And your sword, your katana, it is full of rust. By hearing that, the samurai was enraged, He was very, very angry because, of course, I am very smelly right now kasi nga naglakad lang ako papunta dito for several weeks. Siyempre, wala pa akong ligo. So, first, that was the insult to him. Next is that his katana was insulted. Do you know that a samurai's katana is very precious to them? Makakalimutan nilang maligo, yes, but they will never fail to polish or to clean their swords, because for the samurai warriors, their sword is like their soul. So he was very insulted that time, and he was very, very angry to the point that he wanted to draw out his sword to kill the monk for insulting him. When he was about to grab his sword, he slowly pulled it out. The monk told him, that is hell. He was still enraged, but suddenly he came into his senses. Slowly, medyo humupa yung galit niya. Yung pamumula ng mukha niya medyo bumalik na sa pagiging puti yung mukha niya. Tapos, he put back his sword. When he placed his sword back to its sheath, he sat down with the monk and he started meditating with the monk. And then the monk looked at him and told him, that is heaven. End of the story. Dear brothers and sisters, the idea of heaven and hell, according to the Buddhists and Hindus, are quite different with the idea of heaven and hell for Christians. Kasi diba, for Christians, heaven is a place where you go to after you die. So when you die, you either go to heaven if you're really a good person, and you go to hell if you are a not so good person. But in the Buddhist and Hindu teachings, it's different, no? The story I just told you is actually a Zen story. So in Buddhism kasi, heaven or hell is just a state of mind. Because to the Buddhists, when a person dies, a person's soul gets reincarnated to learn the things he or she missed to learn in his previous lifetime. And reincarnation is a necessity for a soul to evolve and grow up until such time wherein the soul reaches spiritual maturity, and then they call that the state of Buddhahood, no? When a soul reaches that state of Buddhahood, or the state of enlightenment, being awakened to the true nature of reality, that is the time wherein the soul reunites again to the ultimate source, or we Christians, we call it God. For the Buddhists and for the Hindus, heaven and hell is a state of mind right here, right now. However, there are also new discoveries, no, in Christianity, that early Christians though actually believed in reincarnation. When we discovered the Nag Hammadi text in Egypt, no, it has been discovered that the early Christians were actually we're actually believing in reincarnation, at least maybe 1/3 or less than 1/3 of the early Christians. And it has been said that this belief of reincarnation from Christians actually came from Kabbalah. Kabbalah is an ancient Jewish form of mysticism whereby it existed 1,000 years before the birth of our Lord and Master Jesus. So they believe in reincarnation, and in Jewish they call it Gilgulum. And early Christians, they call it apokatastasis, or the transmigration of the soul. But, you know, regardless if you believe in reincarnation or not, that is not the point. The point is how to attain heaven here on earth, right here, right now. Now, dear brothers and sisters, if we try to really understand the teachings from that story that I have just stated, heaven and hell is just a state of mind. And we can always be in heaven if our state of mind is positive, but we will always be in hell if our state of mind is negative, diba? We need to learn how to be, number one, we need to be proactive and not reactive. We need to master our emotions. What is the difference between being proactive and being reactive? Being reactive is like this. For example, if may nakabunggo sa'yo, agad-agad ka magre-react. Kasi binunggo ka, di ba? So of course, your reaction would really to fight back. Ba't mo ako binunggo? Suntukan agad. Being proactive is different. Being proactive is being control of the situation, having control of your emotions, because your emotions are energy in motion, di ba? So if you control your emotion instead of reacting at that specific moment, at a specific time, reacting negatively, you need to first understand the situation. That is being proactive. You need to control your emotion first, understand the situation. Bakit ka ba binunggo? Maybe there is an underlying reason behind. Maybe that person is having an emergency. Nagmamadali siyang maglakad. Diba? Kaya nabunggo ka niya at hindi ka niya napansin. Now, once you are in control of your emotion, you will also be in control of your thoughts. Katulad nga ng kasabihan, no? It's either you are happy because the thorns has a flower, or you could be sad because the flower has thorns. It really depends on your state of mind. So being in heaven means being proactive and not being reactive. However, there's also this one thing we call toxic positivity. And this is also not good. Toxic positivity is this. Sabi ni Father Joe, dapat daw always positive emotions lang. So, dapat hindi ako dapat maka-feel ng bad emotions at hindi ako mag-iisip ng mga bad thoughts. Now, that is actually counterproductive, because there is a reason why we have been created with different emotions. This is for us to feel and experience life fully. Now, if we feel bad, if we think of negative thoughts and we immediately brush it off with a positive thought just for us to have a positive thought always, then that is actually very dangerous, because instead of learning from the lessons that we have from our mistakes or from the pain that we are currently feeling right now, we will not be learning anything. Kasi nga, we always brush it off with a positive emotion. So what do we need to do? You can actually feel negative emotions. You can actually have negative thoughts, and it is not bad, because that is part of being human. But what we can do is to be still, and once we are in that place of negativity, once we are feeling negative about something in ourselves or in our life, we need to close our eyes and contemplate and ask ourselves, what could be the lesson that I could be learning from this specific phase in my life? In this darkness that I am feeling right now, in these negative emotions that I am feeling right now, in these negative thoughts that I am thinking right now, what lesson can I learn from this? And take that lesson and then use it to your advantage. And with that, you can create positivity. But do not brush it off. Do not try to sweep it under the rug, because what you resist, it will always persist. Instead of that specific experience will make you into someone stronger, wiser, and to become a better individual, it becomes counterproductive. And that negativity that you've pushed aside will always come back, and your life will be a total mess, because your life will be in hell, because you did not acknowledge the negativity that you have felt before. So I hope that you have learned something new today, and if this is your first time watching my videos, please click the like button below and also hit subscribe. Paki-ring na rin din po yung notification bell, so that next time when I upload videos like this, you will be one of the first few who will be able to watch it. Alright, so that's it for today, folks. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, this has been Father Joe saying Namaste.